A quick thank you to the T5 peeps. Bob the Dragon, Datamagnet, Cat Crab Lobster, DuckMachine, Try Again 95, Astraya the Dreamer, Mezec, Feudic Jarl, Germanchemist, Casper Arnholtz, and Chaos to Must. Thank you very much. The Machine and the Human, written by Mercury the Dealer. The machine was old. So old that none knew if it had fallen into the planet it stood on, or if the planet had formed around it over billions of years. It was there for as long as any empire remembered, and it would be there until there were no empires for anyone to remember. The machine never talked, it never moved, it simply watched. It was a fact all understood, which was why the machine was curious about the creature coming towards it. The mechanical guard watched as a small ship approached it. The intruder's vessel was quite interesting, seemingly being made exclusively with efficiency in mind. No curves or bright colors. It looked like a flying black brick. It was clear that this was not another exploration or scientific vessel. Its small size would prevent any significant equipment from being loaded. No, this was a visitor, and a very interesting one. The machine thought about destroying it. It most certainly could. Even the most powerful shields and hulls were nothing being compared to its offensive capabilities. But the mechanical god decided against destroying the visitor. Its weapons were offline, and although they were more powerful than any others that he had seen, they still could not cause damage to the machine's nanites wouldn't be able to repair in mere seconds. After a few minutes of steady approach, the visitor landed. From the ship came a single figure. It was covered in the same black as the ship, tall for organic standards, biped. The machine's senses watched and studied the stranger like a judgmental eyes of a gods long gone. The being walked towards one of the god's many entrances, caves that led towards the machine's core and served to transport its nanites and defenders throughout its body. They were mechanical veins and arteries of the machine. The machine felt its defenders activate the moment the visitor got too close to the entrance. The god modified the defender system so that it would follow but not attack the intruder. The biped didn't seem surprised by the sudden appearance of the defender behind it. Instead, it simply looked at it, acknowledged that the 8-foot-tall monster of mechanical muscle wasn't an immediate threat, and kept walking. Interesting. The visitor kept going deeper and deeper inside the god's mechanical body. Entrances would open and close as it moved. It made sure to only enter an open entrance, clearly having sense enough to understand how dangerous it was to disrespect the machine's wishes while inside it. The being finally reached the destination the machine wanted it to reach, a small conference room. The conference room was one of the oldest untouched components the machine had, a small relic that reminded the machine of this body's original function, a state-of-the-art military facility. The machine invaded the visitor's suit with laughable ease, but it didn't touch anything other than the most necessary information, as it wished to keep the mystery going. Language and biological needs only. The god then entered the room's communicator and spoke.
"State your intention."
The human, as he had found its species was called, spoke calmly and clearly. "I wish to become you." That was unexpected to the mechanical god. It expected the being to ask for one of the biological life's usual dreams: financial power, increased capabilities to attract potential mates, political power over others. The mechanical god, for the first time in millennia, felt confused.
"Explain."
The human tightened its fists, a common sign of anger amongst biologicals. It let its calm facade slip slightly. "What is your purpose, machine?" That was disappointing. It was clear that the visitor was trying to get information out of this interaction for future study, but perhaps it could nudge it into the right direction.
"I will not share my purpose."
The human was unfazed. "No, I don't want to know your purpose. I want you to ask yourself that question. Do you know what is your purpose?" Was the visitor serious? Of course the machine knew its purpose. It was made what was its purpose? The question rang through its mind like a gunshot. What was it made for? Was it even made? The machine couldn't think or remember anything that was related to its original function, at least not in this state. Ancient servers that hadn't been activated for thousands of years all suddenly came to life as the machine searched for anything related to its original functions. Nothing. More servers came online. Still nothing. The machine was yet again feeding something new, or at least something so forgotten that it might as well have been new. Fear. The entire planet shook as thousands of generators, each capable of powering a small sun, all came to life as a single mechanical heart. The energy was then pumped into every server and system the machine had. Nanites flew throughout its body while they repaired any damage that came from the sudden activation of the generators. The god searched everything, every server, every memory, every second of footage from its millions of cameras, anything, to find out why it was made. It found nothing. It looked at the visitor once again.
What is your purpose here?
The human's fists tightened even more. Because all you do is watch. Because you are the mechanical god capable of doing anything at any point. Yet, instead of doing anything, all you do is stand here and do nothing. The human's bellow triggered something in the machine. Self-defense programs activated, and what was clearly a threat. But they couldn't find one. The human was unarmed and non-aggressive, yet his words sent jolts of panic and horror throughout the machine. How much time had it spent watching? How many risen and fallen while the god trapped itself in a prison of passivity and reclusion? His systems were made to deal with physical threats, not mental ones. The machine saw the human speak once more. You saw Mars burn, and what did you do? Nothing. If you don't wish to make use of your power, then let someone else use it. Let me use it. The machine looked at what Mars was. Apparently, it was a terraformed planet in the Guy 180038-B system, also known as Helios or Sol. Its scans also showed that it was indeed burning. At least half of the surface of the planet had been destroyed by what seemed like a shot from an Alpha-class orbit-to-surface planet bomber. 99.73% of all life on the planet had been exterminated. The machine could have done something. It could have prevented the bomber from ever reaching the planet. Or it could have done the opposite and have simply destroyed the planet by using 3% of its offensive capabilities. Instead, it had done nothing but passively watched, just like how it had done for as long as it could remember. But what did the human mean exactly?
Explain further.
The visitor nodded in understanding. Replace your consciousness with mine, a simple procedure for someone of your technological level. The machine could certainly do that, but it wouldn't. It had too much to do to... What did it have to lose? The machine did nothing but watch. It had no drive to change things. Its knowledge came not because it had drive to learn, but because it had natural advantage when it came to acquiring knowledge due to its mechanical nature. But the human had drive. He could see it in their movements, the way that they walked through the machine's body as if they weren't inside one of the most dangerous places in the galaxy. The way they didn't so much as flinch when they saw the defender following them, even though the robot could tear them apart in moments. The human wouldn't just watch or acquire knowledge. They would act and learn. In mere seconds, a swarm of billions of nanites flooded the conference room, each carrying a small amount of material. The swarm dissipated just as quickly as it had formed as their job was complete. There, in the middle of the room, stood a small chamber, hundreds of small wires connecting to the rest of the machine.
Inside!
The human walked towards the chamber and stopped. Thank you, mechanical vigilant. The visitor stepped forward.
You are welcome, mechanical sailor.
The machine felt yet another new feeling. Happiness. It activated, the transfer. End of story. And that, my friends, concludes this video. I hope that you enjoyed.